The first great improvement we've done is what you see in blue here. And there's another note here that says that hover over each parameter to show what it does is one of the things we've added. Hi everyone, welcome to Data College, where we help you build solutions to your data problems. So last time we introduced you to our data visualization system that will help you build your visualizations. And today we want to continue with that, talk about some of the improvements we made on the system, and also go through how to use some of the components of that. But before we continue, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are happy with what we're doing, we encourage you to subscribe, like, and share, and invite others to also subscribe to our channel. Great. So let's continue. So the last time we introduced you to our system, if you missed the previous video, you can go back and check in the last video we posted. Otherwise, you can just go to your browser and type PRC systems.org and it will take you to our systems. So basically, we are working on the data visualization system, talking about it recently so you can use it and it will help you. When you come to the home page, you can either click on the data visualization image here, or you can just click on the second icon at the sidebar here, or you can use this link to go there. Either of them, it will send you to our data visualization application, web application that we launched the last time. Great. So all you need, as we mentioned, the system that does not help you prepare your data. If you want a data check quality preparation system, we have some developed already. You can also check those out there. So if you have your data ready, you want to just do some visualizations, click here and select your data. And your data will be displayed in the system. So I'm going to just select my data here, and the data is displayed at the right side here. Whatever data you select is what you're going to use for the visualization below. So the data you select, actually, you can do some filtering in there, look at data, and then you can, if it is a very huge data, it's going to display in pages, and you can select how many entries or observations you want to view per page, and then you can go to the next page where it is applicable as you've seen. So if I say 50, all of them are going to be on the same page, so you don't see any other page there. Great. So if you're ready to do some visualization with its data, as we mentioned in the last video, we have 22 main visualization components that we've built in here. We're still adding more components to it based on user feedback and all that. Great. So one of the improvement we made on that is to help you personally go through all the visualization without any manual. We want the system to be a system where you don't need anyone to tell you, okay, you have to do this to get that. Everything will be self-explanatory. Now, so to do that, the first thing we did in the previous video is the fact that when you hover over each of the visualizations like this, it's going to tell you what it does. An example is this. You can see it says that bar charts or column chart. If you hover over this, it says pie charts and donuts. Hover over this, a line charts, and then there says box plots, and then you have some histograms. The other day we looked at bar plots. I'm gonna just look at pie charts and donuts today. Right. So the first great improvement we've done is what you see in blue here. So the main parameters for each of the visualizations, we made some asterisks to indicate those parameters that are required and then those that are optional. So for those of us who want to start and you don't really have an idea about how to use it, just see the required ones means they are necessary to start with a basic plot. Optional ones means they will improve your plot, but they are not necessary, right? And there's another note here that says that hover over each parameter to show what it does is one of the things we've added. So an example is a name, right? What do you really need the names here for? If you put your cursor on it, it's gonna show you what the name parameter would do. So here it says that values used to assign the labels to a pie sector. So it's going to use to assign labels to the sector. Then if you come here, it says that values used to assign the size to pie sectors. The same applies to the color. So we have added that for all the visualization types. If you go to histogram and you hover over that, it's going to show you as well. It's one of the great improvements we've added to that, so that if you're confused about what you need to select, what you need to put in there, when you hover around the parameter, it's going to tell you and give you an idea about what you need to put in there. So straight away, let's start with our pie chart. We want to do some gender based pie chart, and then we want to use the basically we want to say, we want to look at the income for each of the gender. Great. When we hit submit, right, you see our gender plot is drawn here beautifully for us, right? Those of us who want to who are worried about all these options here, we explained in the previous video. And as I said, the good thing about the system now is that you can go through it yourself with the help and the notes and the explanation that comes when you hover over each of the parameters. And that's that. Now, we have advanced options, as we mentioned in the first video, for each of the visualization types. So we are doing a pie plot, and the main parameters are this, with names and values optional, required, and we have the color optional, then advanced options as well. Now, the second great thing we added to this as an improvement is also in the advanced options, right? You see hover name, whole, template, label, facet role, and all that. We have added explanation to all of these advanced options for each plot as well. So when you hover over it, it's going to tell you the values used to label the pie slices on hover. Then the whole, they tell you that the size of the center hole in the pie from 0 to 1. That's for you when you want to transform the pie to a donut. You just put a value in there. Let's say it's 0 to 1, so I can say 0.3. And when I submit that, it's gonna change it more of into a donut for me. I increase it, getting closer to 1, it's gonna increase the hole, and the donut is gonna look more of a donut. Yeah, something like that. Great. So these are some of the improvement we added. Is very important for only the main parameters and the advanced options. As for the customizations, they are self-explanatory, and I don't think you need uh, explanations over that. If you come to the template, you hover over it, it shows you what it does, the labels, you hover over it, the facet role, facet column, and then the width. The last time we used the facet role and the facet column, which is very important, is one of the important things in data visualization, especially those of us who want to use in talk about subplots, right? You want to do subplots. So I'm just going to do an example of the facet that uses the facet row and the facet column here. So an example, if you are doing a pie chart and you want to look at the state level of my data, right, and the income, but you want it to be divided in terms of gender, you want to look at the male and female different subplots for each of them, then you're going to use what you call the facet row and facet column, right? If you hover over it, it's going to tell you what it does. It says that values used to assign marks to faceted subplots, right, in the horizontal direction. That's facet column, right? And then this one is the facet roll, which is the vertical direction. So if I want it in the horizontal direction, I'll put my gender variable here, right? And it's going to do it in a column wise, right? And then that that's it. So now you see that we have two subplots, right? Two subplots. Let me reduce the whole to, let's say, zero point 0.4 here. So we have two subplots, as you can see. For We are looking at the state, and then the income distribution for each of the states, and then we have subplot for gender, and then subplot for gender equal female, and then subplot for gender equal male, right? If you hover over for all our plots, if you hover over each of the sections, it will tell you what is there: gender equal male, state equal Alabama, and then income is this, and all that. This hover, and then uh, hover labels are available for all plots, not only in the pad. Great. So as we did that, if you had used your gender as a role facet, it's just going to do the same thing, but it's going to align them in a row wise instead of a column wise. So you see gender equal female, and then gender equal male below here, with each of these colors differentiating the various cities that we have in there. Great. So that's the great thing about the improvement that we've made, and we will highly recommend that you test it out, you go through it, and let us know how it has been useful to you, and what other improvement do you think we might make to the systems, right? And so today we've looked at pie plots. You can do donuts with the same thing, just make a hole inside with a whole advanced option. You can do facet plots, facet column roll for subplots and all that. We did this the last time. You can change the width and the height of the plot. You make it something like 300, it's going to be very small. The width is going to become a very small plot, right? So you can change the plot, the width, the height, and all that for your plots. And as we mentioned in the previous video, when all is done, you can hover over it at the far bottom, and you can always download your plot. You can always download your wonderful plot, which is downloaded for us. Great. Yes, the customization is one of the things that we also went through the last time. That shows if you want to add the plot title, right? Add a title is gonna be here. So my first pie chart, right? And the title appears here, right? Then you have the value labels. We have the value labels inside. If you want to put them um outside, you just put them outside there like that, and straight they go outside for you. Then you have legend, X title. You can apply all that. X grid, we did all this. X grid puts a grid at the X as is for it, but basically X grid and Y grid works for the bars and the histogram and all that. But you can obviously change the template type as we did, right? You can change the template type to a ggplot, right? And you can also change it to the plotly dark or any of the templates that are available in there, and that works very beautiful. Two subplots for Rust. Great. That's that for today. Thanks so much for joining. Remember to subscribe to this channel, share, and invite others to subscribe and test. Try use it out, do your visualizations, give us some comments and things you think we can improve on, and other things you think we can add in terms of development. And yeah, so thank you very much. Till come your way again, we say bye.